Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Hope you are doing good. So today I'm gonna be talking about manhwas and webtoons based on enemies to lovers tropes. In these manhwas, the couples start out hating each other or being on opposite sides of a conflict only to fall in love by the end of the story. But before we begin with the video, make sure to subscribe and like the video. So let's begin our list. Coming at number 1, we have Falling for the Enemy. The story revolves around Leah and Edgar. After Leah's parents died in a carriage accident, Leah versed herself in swordsmanship to protect her family. But as the Empire's only female commander of a knight's battalion, she can't seem to catch a break because of the meddling Duke Edgar. She considers him as an enemy, whereas on the other hand, Edgar seems to like Leah. The plot is so interesting and original, the art is beautiful, and the male and female lead are just perfect. The female lead is such a strong person, physically and mentally. She is the definition of girl boss. The beginning felt like a little cute love story, which I was already loving, but the recent chapters really thickened the plot by introducing a parallel Leah and how her parents' death wasn't all that simple. The flow of the story is great, and so is the banter between the characters. The female lead knows how to shut up people, and the male lead is just so sweet. I love the Crown Prince first time, seeing a Crown Prince not being annoying and making things hard for the main characters. Even though it mentions traumatic events, it doesn't go too heavy into the details, so for me it felt like a nice, refreshing read. The characters also harmonize with each other quite perfectly, giving the narrative a very good edge. The art is absolutely beautiful. Coming at number 2, we have The Royal Princess with Black Hair. The Crown Prince of the Mauryan Empire, Karuel, and the Princess of the Karna Empire, Yurishin, despise their political betrothal and dream of breaking it. To make matters worse, the people around them begin devising all sorts of schemes to split them up, and as they overcome the obstacles together, they become drawn to each other despite their initial thoughts. The female lead is basically the opposite of what you think about when you imagine a royal princess, but she is more than capable of faking those traits. She has already been showing being bashful or weak when it suits her. This manga knows how to build rapport between two characters without making one or the other creepy or too weak. Romance is important, but so is establishing their identity apart from each other, which is often overlooked in isekai romance mangas. If you are looking for something light read with a strong independent female lead, a bickering couple, or something with occasional fight scenes, swordplay and magic, this is for you. Coming at number 3, we have The Omniscient Point of View of an Unrequited Love. Haiji is a famous SNS star with over 100,000 Instagram followers. Due to her popularity, Haiji has received many confessions, but despite that, she doesn't really have much dating experience. One day, Haiji received an invitation to go out on a date with another popular SNS star who she recently followed. On the day of the long-awaited date, Haiji couldn't stand the subtle light coming from the karaoke bar, so she decides to use her feet to take a selfie. But due to an accident, Ki-sang, who was a part-timer at that time, ended up seeing her in that embarrassing position. After the disastrous date, Haiji decides to end her first ever relationship. However, on her first day at school, she meets Hairi, the person who gave her that embarrassing memory. The story is fluffy and cute. The female lead is pretty and lovable. I love her cheerful and positive attitude. The male lead is very calm and mature. The story is super good. The misunderstandings between the characters are cleared up very fast, unlike other stories that drags misunderstandings that it messes up the whole point of the story. I also like how the author portrays the friends around the main characters as very supportive, goofy and mature. Coming at number 4, we have Wedding Impossible. So our female lead, Ah Jung, is a small actor who lived with her father. stepmother and her step siblings, and is now in a contract marriage with her gay childhood friend Lee Ji-kyung for money. But his brother is against it. So the reason the male lead Lee Ji-han, Ji-kyung's brother, was against their marriage was because he thought very highly of his brother and had a brother complex. He thought that she, a nameless actor from a shabby background, is deceiving his brother and is only after his money. So Ji-kyung has to go abroad for 3 months for a business trip, and Jian is taking this chance to make Ah-jung give up on his brother. The relationship between the male lead and the female lead was pretty frustrating in the beginning, not gonna lie, because he basically did everything he could to stop the marriage from happening. However, their relationship ended up being one of the healthiest relationships I have ever read. The male lead went through a lot of character development and became the absolute best husband material ever. He taught the female lead about self-love, supported her dream, took care of all the housework, stood up for her, researched about how to take care of her, and many more. This story has a lot of cuteness overload scenes. I like this story for its ability to tell a story with drama and tension without losing itself in too much drama or losing its cute fluff. There's drama, but it's reasonable. It's really funny and entertaining. Coming at number 5, we have I Only Want to Beat You. So our main lead has this obsession of making everything a competition and winning. So one day he sees this girl across the street and gets into a silent staring competition. They keep staring until at the end of the day she wins, and then they fall into a sort of rivalry where they keep competing over the smallest things. Of course, they fall in love along the way. It's a very good story and has a relaxing vibe to it. Certainly will give you diabetes, infinity, and loads of new feelings. Certainly a very good anti-depression pills. If you wanna enjoy it, then go with a light-hearted feeling, since this story is about naive young characters in a high school rom-com setting. It's a wholesome with the right mixture of humor and cuteness. Coming at number 6, we have Enemies Should Settle But Not Be Friends. The male and female leads' first encounter was a heavily remembered thing. They hated each other, but just out of luck, they became classmates. Not only were they classmates, but also seatmates. These two, like enemies that fought and battled. They both despised each other and tortured each other. But what will this continuous torture and bothering to result in? It's a hilarious and cute Chinese manga. Coming at number 7, we have Reminiscence Adonis. Ayana and Arhad are two selfish and arrogant people who spend their lives battling against each other. Just before dying at the hands of Arhad, Ayana promises him to become his knight instead of an enemy in the next life. And she suddenly finds herself reincarnated into the same life as a child for unknown and mysterious reasons. Because of her promise and the previous life's scar, Ayana decides to use the second chance well to differ from her old path. She has the chance to fix all of her past mistakes and live her life for the better. This time, she is gonna change the course of history by becoming the knight of Arhad, who is a nobleman destined to ascend to the throne of a rival kingdom. The story, the art, the characters, the female lead with a fiery attitude to match and strong friendship, everything about this Korean webtoon is awesome. The art is gorgeous. It has such a great and interesting plot, a very strong female protagonist who undergoes prejudice because, well, she is a girl and a swordsman. But don't worry, as the strong character she is, she will end up face slapping and beating all her opponents to the ground. Our female protagonist doesn't really care about love, although there is subtle romance at the beginning. The story is more about plot and allowing the characters to achieve their dreams whilst helping others instead of all those mushy love stuff. The world building for this story is just so good and intricate. You should definitely give this a try. Hope you all have a good day. See ya!